Hello, dear students. Welcome. I hope you all had a good break. And let us start now the next session in IT. And let's begin with a few quotes that I would like to share. I think that we are all going through real challenging times. So, if life was easy, where would all the adventures be? And the second one is if you find a path with no obstacles, it probably doesn't lead anywhere. So let us begin a fresh start. Be positive. Look for all the positivity around us, within us. Let's be gentle to what is happening because these are real challenging times and we can be rude, we can get irritated. So let's be gentle. Let's remind ourselves to be gentle. And it is also possible that you may, lose your focus sometimes. In that case, again, be gentle to yourself and regain back your focus. Okay, very gently bring back your focus to what you need to do. And right now, we are starting with the next session in IT. Welcome you all. Let's begin. So, the next chapter, a new chapter, is e-commerce. Okay, it's called electronic commerce. Now, commerce students, I will not be able to hear you, but in general, all of you will be aware of what is commerce. Yes, it is trade, buying and selling of goods. Okay, but we are going to see electronic commerce. Let's begin with the subtopics. Now here we have a picture. Okay, this is your traditional commerce, that is your a picture of your supermarket. Okay, you're going there, you're checking what you need, what products are available. There will be different brands of the same product. You will check the product, you will check the prices of the different products and take it to the counter, pay and take the good back to your home instant. Okay, that is traditional commerce. We are going to view into electronic commerce where all the goods that you are now viewing in your that you're viewing physically into your supermarket, all of these products are being available with a certain description on the website. That is an electronic medium. So when the goods are being available online via the electronic medium and I'm able to make the payment for the goods via the electronic medium, it becomes e-commerce. Simple. So commerce is buying and selling of goods, and e-commerce is buying and selling of goods or services using an electronic medium such as an internet. Okay, and all of this facility, this ease of using the technology was made possible in 1991 when the internet became open for commercial use. That is, retailers could advertise their products online, make their products available online. This all began a long time back. Okay. Now here we are doing a general comparison between traditional commerce and e-commerce. Okay. I will just run through the important points. You can take your time and go through each of them. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can always ping me on WhatsApp for any further clarification. Okay, so in traditional commerce, we've already seen this personal interaction, so it is manual. Okay, here e-commerce is via the internet, so it is considered to be automatic. Traditional commerce, your supermarkets will not be open the whole day, the whole night. There will be a limited time limit to it. Okay. E-commerce, on the other hand, is available 24/7. You should not browse in the midnight, but in case of any emergency or something like that, the products, the websites are always available. Okay. Next is consumer interactions are, as far as consumer interactions are concerned, there is a face-to-face interaction, but in e-commerce there is a screen-to-face interaction. Okay. Limited traditional commerce is limited to the geographical location. Obviously, the supermarket is located at a certain place. Okay. And e-commerce is available online, so it is available globally. Okay. Now, payment. How do you make payment? You pay for the goods. Okay. Here the payment is done including cash, checks and credit cards in traditional commerce. Okay. You can pay by your money, you can pay by the check in certain cases, and usually nowadays we use the credit cards. We swipe the cards, credit cards, debit cards, etc. In e-commerce, however, there is a online bank transfer that can be done, or we use the credit card. We enter the credit card details online and then make the payment. There is also something called as the e-wallet, an electronic wallet, which already has a certain amount of money put in by the customer, and he can use it for doing the payment, mobile payments, and many more. Okay. Now, in traditional commerce, the delivery of goods are instant. You pay for the product, you take it, and you walk off. But in e-commerce, once I make the payment online, the goods take some time to come. Okay, so it's not at the instant. And very important, the last point, the traditional commerce scope is local, and the e-commerce scope is global. Okay, if you go through all of this, it will make sense. The traditional commerce scope is local, but the e-commerce scope is global. Next, we are going to see the types of business models, okay, e-commerce models that are available. Now, the first thing I want you to do is remember that we are doing the buying and selling of products, okay. So there are two entities that are involved. One is the seller and the second one is the buyer. So if you remember this, seller to buyer, okay, remember this relationship, seller to buyer, and then you will be able to understand what I'm talking further in these models. Okay, so your first model is business to consumer. Your seller is a business and your buyer is a consumer. Consumer is a customer like you or me. Okay. Now, when we say the products, the buying and selling is happening online, a business is making available all of its products, the products that it wants to sell online. Okay. So here one of the best examples is Amazon. There are many other examples, Flipkart, etc. You can go through it. And in Amazon, the groceries, the products that are needed, there are n number of products available in Amazon. Here we are seeing this Amazon pantry where they have made available the general groceries that are available in the supermarket. It is being made available for us to buy, to make this, the trade is being possible online. Okay. The product in turn will be available in the godown and it will be delivered to us later. But this trade cycle has been made available to us online. Okay. So remember, buyer is seller to buyer, business to consumer. Okay, B2C model. And you should also remember the example: Amazon, Flipkart, etc. Okay, you can go through this slide. Okay, next one is the B2B model. Okay, so we have the buyer and the seller, and both are business institutions. Okay, both are business organizations. Okay, now one of the examples are a wholesaler and a intermediate retailer. Okay, so the wholesaler will give the products to these intermediate retailers, the small retailers that are available, and after that I, as a consumer, will go to these retailers and buy goods. So this trade cycle that is happening between the two businesses, the wholesaler and the retailer, is a B2B model, business to business. Okay, here we have this line: business to intermediate buyer, and after that the intermediate buyer makes the goods available for the customer, the final consumer. Next one is a C2C model, consumer to consumer. That means I, as a consumer, is making the goods that I have available to you, who is also a consumer. Okay, so a layman is making a good, a product, advertising them online, maybe negotiating it online, and then the order and delivery is going to be taken care by these intermediate websites. Okay, so the example is OLX. So if I have a second hand phone, I can take up the pictures of it, I can put in the specifications of the phone available, make it available on OLX, and if someone wants to buy it, they can contact me. We set up the price, and the phone is then further delivered to the person who wants to buy it. Okay, so this is OLX. If some of you are not aware of this website, just browse in Google, get to know a little more about it so that you understand the consumer to consumer model. Okay, other examples are Quikr, online auction, similar examples like OLX. The last one, the last e-commerce model is consumer to business. Okay, so seller to buyer. Who is selling? Consumer is selling. Who is buying? The business is buying. Okay, so a consumer, a single person, or okay, a customer, what is he is providing his product. Okay, it is possible that there is a content writer, okay, preparing a blog that can be published and that can be utilized by a business organization. Okay, so this trade cycle will happen between the consumer to business. Okay, with this the four e-commerce models are done. Now next we will go to our e-commerce trade cycle. Okay, now basically you have understood there is a buying and selling of goods that is happening. Okay, now we will break down this buying and selling of goods into smaller specific aspects of the trade cycle. Okay, let's take a very generic example. You're going to the local market. Now you cannot go, sorry, but maybe once in a while before you must have gone to the vegetable market. Okay, so the first thing we do is we search for our product. Yeah, or even if we are doing online shopping, we will search for the product. So that becomes the first basic step of the trade cycle. Remember, what is the first step of the trade cycle? It can come in one of your objectives. It has to be written as search. The answer is search. Okay, After that, there is a possibility of negotiation. So when we go to the market, we can say the shopkeeper can say the product is for 40 rupees. I can say no, I want to pay only 30 rupees for this. Then the shopkeeper says no, we will, let us agree on 35. Okay, so all of this bargaining, adjusting on the cost is the negotiation. Okay, we all have done that or we have at least viewed a negotiation that has happened. Okay, so these two, search and negotiate, okay, they form the pre-sale cycle of the part of the trade cycle. Okay, so in the pre-sale phase, what is happening? Search and negotiate. Okay, next is we order. Okay, the order is placed. Okay, and the delivery of goods. Now the delivery of goods in a traditional commerce, it can happen instant, but in online it can be delayed. Nevertheless, order and delivery, they come under the execution phase of the trade cycle. So here these lines are there. Okay, pay attention to those lines here. Okay, order and delivery, okay, these come under the execution phase of the trade cycle. Okay, next is the invoice. Now invoice, it contains it is similar to a bill. So it will tell you how many products you have bought, okay, how much payment you have done, and how much payment is due. Sometimes it happens that a certain amount can be due. Okay, the date on which the product was ordered, the date on which the payment was made, the date on which the delivery has happened, other added details. Okay, the address on which the delivery has to happen, other added details of the bill, everything constituted together is in the invoice. Okay, the next is payment, the fund transfer that is happening from the buyer to the seller, the fund transfer. So this invoice and payment, they both together form the settlement phase of the trade cycle. Okay, now in all of this, search, negotiate, order, delivery, invoice, payment, till this payment, the funds have been transferred, the delivery has been done, the product has reached the consumer. Okay, now after the product has reached the consumer, sometimes it can happen that the product is defective. Okay, sometimes we can also say no, I'm not happy with this product that I have received, I want a refund. Okay, and sometimes it can happen that I use the product for 6 months and something goes wrong with a single part or something, and somebody needs to come and repair, right? Maybe you bought a microwave and then some functionality is not happening, then you call a person, a serviceman, who comes and checks and repairs it and goes. So all this warranty, maintenance, okay, further repair, all this happens in the after sales phase of the trade cycle. Okay, so now I'm showing further slides from your textbook, which which I will not be explaining further because these are self-explanatory. Okay, so I suggest go through it. These can come in your 2 marks or 4 marks, where you will have to write maybe 4 or 5 advantages of e-commerce, maybe a few disadvantages of e-commerce. So go through it. They are very simple to understand, and this is further explanation of the e-commerce trade cycle. You can go through this. With this, we will end our first session, followed by the assignments. Okay, all the best. Stay positive, stay smiling, and spread your positivity and your smile. All the best, children.